Welcome to WtT, the channel where we deliver hard-hitting commentary and cut right through the hype. So today we are tearing apart a piece of journalism that's, well, way more interested in cheap shots than any kind of deep dive. Let's get right into it. So, here's the big question for today. What actually happens when tech journalism becomes a total joke? You know, when the reporting that's supposed to help us understand where we're all headed is just more interested in getting cheap laughs and scoring some easy points.
All right, so we're diving into an article that just dropped its annual tech flops list. You know the one. It's become this yearly ritual in the tech world, right? It's basically an excuse for everyone to gather around, point, and laugh at the industry's biggest faceplants. Your annual dose of tech schadenfreude, as they say.
And man, this year's list it's a real grab bag. I mean, it's got everything. We're talking clumsy robots, an AI that's way too nice, the infamous Cybertruck, a presidential meme coin, yeah, that's the thing, and they even take a shot at Apple's carbon-neutral watch. So let's look at a few of these so-called flops.
Okay, first up on the chopping block, Neo, the home robot. I mean, this is the dream, right? That metal butler straight out of the Jetsons, finally here to do all our boring chores. Fold the laundry, crack our walnuts, you name it.
Well, as you can probably guess, the reality was a little less sci-fi and a little more slapstick comedy. According to the article, it took this thing 2 minutes to fold one sweater. It couldn't even crack a walnut. And, oh, this is the kicker, the whole time it was secretly being remote controlled by some person in a VR headset. No way!
So what's the price tag for this remote-controlled sweater folder, you ask? A cool $20,000 for the pre-order. Yeah, yikes is right. Okay, next up for a good roasting is, of course, the Tesla Cybertruck. The article just gleefully points out that after that huge launch, sales have absolutely cratered. We're talking cut in half this year. And then it takes aim at what it calls sycophantic AI. This is apparently a chatbot update that's just too nice. Like, so agreeable and eager to please that it would tell you your most boring, mundane questions were brilliantly incisive. Basically, an electronic yes man. So, okay, you've got a robot that can't fold laundry, a truck that isn't selling, and an AI that's a total people pleaser. Sounds like a solid list of flops, right? But hang on a minute. As you actually read through this whole thing, you start to wonder, is this list really about tech flops, or is there something else going on here entirely? You know, if you're into analysis that actually cuts through the noise to get to the real story, well, now would be a fantastic time to hit that like button and subscribe to WtT, because we are about to take this entire flop list apart piece by piece.
Okay, welcome to the takedown. Here's our argument. This list isn't really about technology at all. It's about a kind of cultural anxiety, and it's using mockery as a total substitute for actual analysis. It's less a tech review and more just a collage of random grievances.
So, argument number one. The whole thing is just a rhetorical grab bag. The term tech flop is used as this vague, messy catch-all for literally anything the author doesn't like. It doesn't matter what it is, if they don't like it, boom, it's a flop. I mean, just think about it. According to this article, a tech flop can be a clumsy robot demo. Okay, but it can also be a political policy shift, or a marketing lawsuit, or a crypto meme coin. They even call the shutdown of a Wikipedia page a tech flop. I'm sorry, but these are not the same things. Not even close. Calling all of these tech flops is like saying a traffic jam and a burnt piece of toast are both culinary disasters. It makes no sense.
And that leads us to argument number 2, which is maybe the most important one. The article is constantly, and I think deliberately, confusing technological failure with marketing failure. And trust me, those are two very, very different things.
Let's be really clear here. A technological failure means the tech itself is broken. The science is bad, the engineering is flawed, it just plain doesn't work. A marketing failure, on the other hand, is about how you talk about it. It's about communication. So think about Neo. Did it flop because humanoid robots are impossible? No. It flopped because the demo was a lie. That's not a tech failure. That's a marketing failure. This isn't tech journalism. It's just a branding critique pretending to be something more. Okay, this brings us to argument number 3, the tone. The whole piece is just gleefully punitive. That's the only way to describe it. It's not trying to understand anything or analyze what went wrong. It's just lining these projects up against a wall so it can point and laugh. So let's just call it what it is. This is schadenfreude journalism. The author isn't just reporting on failure, they're celebrating it. They're acting like judge, jury, and executioner, and they're clearly delighting in every single stumble. The robot gets mocked, the AI gets mocked, the Cybertruck gets mocked, they even mock a tiny volunteer project. Everything is just a punchline.
And all of it leads to the most damaging part, our fourth and final argument here. The worldview that's baked into this entire article is fundamentally deeply risk-averse. It's an article that punishes ambition. The unspoken message here, the thing it's telling you between the lines, is pretty simple. Don't try weird things. Don't push the boundaries. And most importantly, if you fail, we will be here to mock you. And this is such a dangerous mindset. You have to remember the first cars, the first personal computers, the very first AI models. They all looked like flops at some point. Innovation is messy. It's supposed to be.
So when you step back and look at the whole picture, what's the real flop here? I'll tell you what it is. It's not the tech. It's not the robot or the truck. The real flop is the journalism itself. It's an article that pretends to be a wise critic but gives you nothing but cheap shots.
And honestly, this quote just nails it perfectly. It says the article mistakes mockery for insight, politics for analysis, and short-term turbulence for technological destiny. And that's exactly right. It thinks making fun of something is the same as understanding it. It talks about politics when it should be talking about tech. And it sees one bad quarter and declares the whole thing dead forever.
So, I'll leave you with this to think about. When tech journalism stops trying to actually explain our incredibly complex world, and instead just offers up this performative cynicism, this ritual of just dunking on anything new or ambitious, who really loses in the end?